Humanity's relationship with the paranormal spans thousands of years. We have feared it, revered it, and worshipped it. In modern times, most traditions related to the paranormal are either dead or dying off. Despite our collective rejection of all things supernatural, the popularity of paranormal horror makes it apparent that we still carry some fear of the paranormal. Today's story will explore what happens when modern people are forced to confront paranormal occurrences. The story begins in an abandoned church. We see a girl strapped to a bed, surrounded by three men. One of the men is her father, and the other two priests. It becomes obvious before too long the men are attempting to perform an exorcism. The older priest is the one really performing the exorcism, and as he draws closer to her, intending to check her vitals, she wakes up. The second priest methodically sprinkles her with holy water, and the girl starts to convulse. Her father comes closer to her and pleads with her to fight the demon. For a moment, it appears it worked. The demon pretends it's the girl, momentarily deceiving the father and the two priests. But the demon, finding the whole scene hilarious, bursts into laughter and takes control of the older priest and hurls him across the room, killing him instantly. The demon then starts to suffocate the younger priest. The father, deciding that he has seen enough, takes a pillow and suffocates his daughter to death. The demon's grip on the younger priest is then released and the scene shifts. 3 months after the events at the abandoned church, a woman named Megan walks into a hospital for a job interview. Another lady named Lisa joins her not too long after this, and while they drink coffee, Lisa assures Megan that she will be there to help her. We then see Megan walking with Dr. Lewis, who is filling her in on information relevant to her new job. He inquires about the events that led to the end of her last job as a policewoman, but she just assures him that she is fine and is competent enough to do her job. They step into an elevator where the doctor tells her that most people find the job creepy. He shows her how to get in and out of the facility during the night shift. He gives her a full tour of the facility and he takes her to the intake bay. He tells her that she is not allowed to leave the premises while on duty. When they enter the facility's freezers, he introduces her to the team. The next night, we see Megan walk into the hospital. She greets some guards and gets to work on a computer. The lights go out suddenly, and she switches them back on. An ambulance arrives at the intake bay, and the body is transferred to the receiving area. We then see Megan take snapshots of the body and scanning its fingerprints before placing it in the freezer. As she does this, Dave, one of the security guards she greeted earlier, jumps out and scares her. He apologizes to her, but Megan still seems shaken by the ordeal. Megan continues to perform her duties, but pauses to use the restroom. When she returns from the restroom, she sees an angry-looking man standing in the hallway. She attempts to take some pills, but stops herself. We then see her sitting beside Lisa at a meeting. She is informing the group about the man she saw standing in the hallway. She tells them that he was a man she tried to arrest, but he shot and killed her partner before she could do anything. She tells them that whenever she remembers it, she starts craving pills and alcohol. Next, we see her in her bedroom. Someone is knocking on her apartment door, and it turns out to be her ex-cop boyfriend, Andrew, coming to get the rest of his things. She fills him in on the details of her new job, and he expresses concern at her spending prolonged periods of time alone. The next night, at work, she hears the alarms for the intake bay, but doesn't find anyone there. Just then, a shabby-looking man appears and asks her to let him into the facility. She calls security on the man and gets him to leave. Then, an actual body arrives at the intake bay, and the ambulance driver begs her to help him move the body. She does so, stepping out of the premises to help Randy, even though it is against the rules. Randy, who is quite chatty, tells her about the body. He tells her that the boy was once a girl named Hannah, and that the killer tried to burn her body. Megan, who is now back within the premises, tries to capture the image of the body repeatedly to no success. She tries to scan the body's fingerprints, and once again, it doesn't work. She hurts herself in the process and decides to just put the body in the freezer. As she does so, a drop of her blood falls onto the body. Curious and a bit spooked out, Megan decides to research Hannah's case. She doesn't find much that helps her. She only notices that the eye color on the body doesn't match Hannah's described eye color. As she does this, a fly starts buzzing around the body. Soon, the whole body has been swarmed by flies, but before Megan can react to any of this, the flies vanish as though they were never there to begin with. A frightened Megan leaves the room to investigate a noise she hears outside. By the time she returns, the body is gone. As she leaves, she sees a person hauling the body away. She fights him off, and he leaves the body in the hallway. She runs to call security, but by the time she returns, the body is gone. The man tells her the body has to be burnt, but they completely ignore him, and he gets arrested by the cops. Megan's ex-boyfriend is one of the cops that is at the scene. He helps Megan with the identification of the corpse, and also notes the difference between the color of Hannah's eyes and the color of the eyes on the body. Andrew tells Megan that she had died 3 months ago, which prompts him to ask her if the fingerprints from the body match those of Hannah Grace. She tells him that they do, which leaves him even more perplexed than when he was initially. While Megan and Andrew are debating, Hannah's body awakens and she lifts Dave's body telekinetically and throws him across the room into her morgue drawer where she destroys his body. Not too long after, Megan realizes that there are missing wounds on Hannah's body. She shows Lisa this, but Lisa dismisses this and accuses her of using pills again. Shortly after, Hannah hunts and kills Lisa. Randy returns to the morgue with another body, and as Megan attends to him, she shows him Hannah's healed wounds. Shortly after this, she sees Hannah's body crawl around the lift. She tries to warn Randy, who is down at the access bay, but she is too late. Hannah has already slaughtered him. Andrew calls her to inform her that Granger, the crazy man from earlier, has successfully escaped police custody by killing 2 officers that were transporting him. Not much time passes before Granger makes an appearance. He catches Megan off guard and holds her at gunpoint. He tells her that he is Hannah's father, and there has been numerous exorcism attempts in the past, all of which ended terribly. He tells her that Hannah's possession initially started as severe depression, which grew so bad that it ended with the demon taking full possession of Hannah. He tells her that whenever the demon takes possession of Hannah, her eyes turn blue, which was why the body had a different eye color. Granger tells her that he is surprised that Hannah killed everyone except Megan. They decide to cremate Hannah, but while they are doing so, Hannah awakens and throws Granger into the fire. Hannah then restrains Megan by locking her up in the refrigerated drawer. Andrew and his partner, Ernie, soon arrive at the facility to assist Megan. Hannah gets rid of Ernie with very little effort and then tries to kill Andrew. Megan, who is struggling to maintain her composure, uses Andrew's gun to shoot Hannah. She then takes the body to the crematorium, while Andrew calls for backup. At the incinerator, Megan and a reanimated Hannah have an intense struggle, which ends with Megan pushing Hannah into the fire, effectively killing the demon. The movie ends with Megan talking about how she has managed to stay clean for months. She stares at her reflection in a mirror as a fly lands on the mirror's surface. She squashes the fly, and the movie ends. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. To receive notifications for future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the bell-shaped button. Have a great day.